Hey, what's going on, guys? This is going to be my outer box review for the HG Build Fighters GN-XIV Type GBF. Now, the GN-XIV, as some of you guys may very well be aware of, is basically just a regular 00 design, but the Gundam Build Fighters version basically just means that it is in different colors and also comes with the Buster Sword. I believe the regular version never came with any Buster Sword, never used any Buster Sword. I want to say, I could be wrong about that. I'm not the biggest when it comes to 00 lore and knowledge about 00 mobile suits, I'll admit that. But this one does come with a big sword. Otherwise, it's just pretty much all the same stuff that you would expect from a normal GN-XIV. Now, the GN-XIV is a mobile suit that a lot of people have been waiting for a long time, so it's cool that we finally got it. It's unfortunate, though, this was a P-Bandai kit, so obviously P-Bandai kit's going to be a little bit harder to get, a little bit more expensive, but you do finally get a GN-XIV, so yeah. I decided to get this because I liked the look of this. It's very cool. It's got some cool accessories. I especially like it once we attach the larger shields onto the shoulders. That's one of the options that it has. As you can see now here on the sides of the shoulders, it's just got these kind of little, I wouldn't really call them shields, basically just kind of armor panels there. It's like stuck on the side of the shoulders, but you can replace those with some really big, cool looking shields. It's of course got its big rifle, which is the same stuff that was from the 24th century weapons pack, so you can get the weapons in that kit as well. But anyway, this kit was a lot of fun. This is the third variation HG GNX kit that I've built, and they're pretty similar. This is probably the closest to the Accelerate GNX in terms of the parts, like the waist parts, the shoulder parts are the same as on that kit. So later on in the review, I'll give you a look at the different HG GNX kits that I built all together, but let's just get into talking about this. First off, just want to say a huge thank you to USA Gundam Store for sponsoring this review, guys. Do check out the link to their site down below. Use my coupon code there, ZakuAurelius10. They sell P-Bandai kits there, so if you're in America and looking for a good place to buy P-Bandai kits, you can pre-order and buy stuff from them. So let's first go over stickers, because this kit has a fair amount of them. Now, obviously, we have a sticker there for the eyes, and there's actually two stickers like on the side of the face as well. They're kind of like covered up by the little bits on the side of the face. They're really not seen at all, kind of weird. And there's a purple sticker underneath this clear part there on the head, purple sticker underneath this GN condenser here on the front of the chest. On the side of the head, some circle stickers there, circle stickers here on the side of the hand, on the side of the skirt armor there, on the side of the ankle armor here, on the front of the ankle armor here, on the back skirt area vent stickers there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 little gray stickers going around the GN drive here on the back. While we're here, you've got seam lines down the back of the elbow part, down the back of the forearm, down the back of the leg, down the front of the leg, and obviously down the front of the arm as well. Possibly more annoying, though, is the seam line down this side of the waist section that goes right through that circular detail there. That's pretty annoying. So as for stickers and seam lines, it's not doing so hot, but let's check out the articulation. The head goes up to there. Yep, that's as far as it goes. Down isn't a problem, though, plenty far down. In the waist section, front and back movement, non-existent. Side to side movement, pretty much non-existent. It can only spin side to side like so. At the shoulder, it can move up and down a tiny bit. You can bring the arm up to about there, not even perpendicular to the mobile suit. But of course, we do have a rotation there at the top of the arm and a single joint in the elbow, giving you just about 90 degrees bend, and then the wrist on a ball joint. Obviously, nothing going on here with the backpack, so we'll move down to the skirts. The front skirts will move up individually. That's not a problem with those. The side skirts also move up individually like so, allowing you to bring the leg out all the way to there. Yep, that's it. That's as far as the leg goes out. Back skirts also, no articulation there. While the legs won't spread very wide at all, that's the maximum they'll go. We do have rotation at the top of the leg. Can bring the leg up only to about there, pretty pathetic. Bend the knee there, pretty nice knee bend though, it does have that, and this part on the back of the leg bends backward, that's good. Front little ankle armor flap will move up and down like so. The ankles side to side, it's not too bad. The foot forward and back, also not terrible. There's no bend here at all. This big flat foot, and hollow spaces up underneath the foot. It's kind of okay detail, but doesn't really look that great either. So you might now be thinking, well, it's kind of got a lot of stickers, and it's kind of got a lot of seams, and the articulation really doesn't look all that great. And you're right about that. But what it does to make up for that is just having a really cool look and some cool weapons. So let's check out what it comes with. So because this is a P-Bandai variation kit, we do have a lot of leftover parts in there, especially a lot of leftover parts like from the waist section and the upper legs. But we do also have some noteworthy parts here. We have the original GN beam rifle here, and it's missing the kind of longer extension part, but it's just the full thing here. The little front handle will move like so, and it just plugs into the arm. And then you have just the regular GNX head, and now it doesn't have a clear piece. You only have one of that clear jewel piece for the front of the head. So if you did want to use this head, you'd have to use either one or the other, but it's cool to have that. You do also have the shield, which is pretty nice. You have the connection piece and everything, so all you got to do is just connect that onto the arm, no problem. Okay, then onto the accessories. As you can see on the left and the right hand, it has just holding hands. Then we do also have a third hand, which is just an open left hand. It looks very nice. Really would have been nice if we would have an open right hand as well, but at least we've got one. We have our beam sabers with the beam saber handle here and the effect part in a nice bright orange. Nowhere to store these around on the kit, but these are some pretty nice beam sabers. You have the Buster Sword, or GN Buster Sword, or just Buster Sword. Anyway, this can just be held in the hand, obviously, and then this one can be attached onto the kit. This one also can be attached onto the kit. But I don't think it'd be very difficult to just take a little clip, a piece of the runner, glue it into here, drill a hole into the side skirt, and you can just attach that onto the side skirt or onto the back skirt or however you wanted. And then you have these very cool surplus particle tanks. Now these will attach onto the back of the shoulder. I really like just this shoulder armor in general. Really cool look to that. And there you go, there you got your surplus particle tanks like that. Pretty cool, I like that quite a bit. It definitely just kind of adds something to the design, I think. I could kind of like the shoulder armor without it, or with it. I don't know, it'd be kind of hard to decide. And then we've got the shields. We've got two of these, one for the left and one for the right. Not really sure what these are supposed to be inside of there, but those are something. And the shield sort of has like an opening gimmick. So basically what you have to do is just take this apart, and there's two different kind of attachment points. You just kind of take that off, move it to the different attachment point, and then you can see the shield is sort of like opened up just a little bit like that. I'm not really sure exactly what that's for, but that's an interesting little gimmick. So then we'll just pop off this part here and just replace that with this shield, and then he's got shields on the side of the arm. That's, I think, the best look for this guy. And then we've got the beam rifle, so very cool. This just plugs into the forearm, plugs into the hand. We got the secondary handle, which folds out like so. When not in use, there's a peg here on this side. This can be plugged onto the back skirt. Very convenient. And if you don't like just the regular rifle, you can pull that out and attach onto this big long end here like this. Again, just from the 24th century weapons pack. So that just is for those of you who like big guns. It definitely makes an impression. So yeah, you might be thinking, wow, it looks like it comes with some cool accessories, but why does the kit have to suck so bad? Well, yeah, you're kind of right about that. I'll definitely give you that. But this is just going to be one of those kits that you either like it enough that you're just going to break down and buy it regardless and maybe try to do your best with it, or you're just not going to buy it. And I think that makes it a pretty good candidate for a P-Bandai kit. If it was not a P-Bandai kit, I think a lot of people might just buy it just on a whim and then complain about it a bunch. But because it's a P-Bandai kit, it's the kind of thing where you kind of have to know what you're getting into before you get it. Or maybe you don't, and that's why inevitably a lot of P-Bandai kits end up on the secondhand stores' shelves in Japan, because people have to pre-order them right away, and then once they actually get the kit, it's just kind of disappointed. Whereas with normal kits, you can wait till the kit comes out if you want and like check out some reviews or something. Whereas with P-Bandai kits, you don't have that luxury, so it's kind of good if you guys can see reviews of these kits as soon as possible, I'm sure. That said, I think for many people, just by seeing a few images of the kit, you can judge basically whether a design is just something that you're going to like or not. And if it's a design that you like, improving the kit is all kind of part of the modeling process. So even if you really like the design, you get the kit and it's like, for example, this kit, and like you say, for example, you're really disappointed. It's got a bunch of seams, the articulation's kind of crap, and you're just kind of feeling disappointed. Well, that's where you can kind of take it to the next step with your modeling skills and make some modifications to improve the articulation, obviously removing seam lines, things like that. That's pretty basic, but personally I just prefer to judge a kit more based off its potential rather than just exactly what you get right in the box. That is definitely one thing, but that shouldn't be the only factor that you judge a kit by. But another thing I think that is important to consider in the worthiness of buying a kit or not is also just like the weapons and accessories, and especially kind of what you have left over if you're interested in doing like custom kits or kit bashing or things like that. A lot of times just some stuff that you'll have left over or option parts that you don't plan on using can also kind of add to the worth of buying a kit, because then you might have an idea for kind of what else to use for those. So as I said, you do have the two different options for like the size of the shoulders. You have the smaller little shoulder armor bits, and then you have just these bigger shields. So say if you want to use the big shields on this, which you probably do, those extra kind of side bit shoulder armor pieces, you could use those for a different variation of the GN-X. Also the tanks for the back of the shoulders, you can use those. It has the different rifles that you can use or not use. You have this big Buster Sword, which I will definitely not use with this. I don't particularly really like that sword. I'll have to find a use for it eventually someday. But you have some kits that will just come with like one rifle and one shield, and that's kind of, you really have no other choice unless you're using something from a different kit with that kit. But in terms of what comes with the box with that, it's going to be pretty minimal. So things like this where you do get plenty of options in the box, I think that's also something worth considering as well. Alright guys, that's pretty much going to do it for my review of this kit. Obviously, it's not going to be a very rave review. This is not a kit I would very highly recommend. It's a kit that I would recommend though because I think it looks cool. But as you may have been able to tell throughout the review, it's not something that I think a lot of people are going to be super happy with. Unless you're a big fan of the design, then you'll be plenty happy with it, I think. But otherwise, it's not something that I would go out and like recommend everyone to pick up this kit right away. So that said, I think that it's perfectly fine that this came out as a P-Bandai kit. For those people who are really big fans and collectors, you'll get it. For other people, you'll just kind of ignore it, and so that's okay. Otherwise, let me know what you guys think of the kit down below. Did you pick it up? Are you planning to pick it up? Has this review changed your mind one way or the other? And either way, let me know what you think. And as always, guys, again, big thank you to SA Gundam Store. I will just wrap this up, taking a look at all three of these kits together. Now that I have them all, I can see how they're going to look. Alright, and so here we are. The gang is all here, and this is what I've been waiting for. Now, they're all green-ish, but I think they'll definitely look a lot better once they're all painted in matching green colors. I'm planning on doing these all in a sort of matching color schemes as if they're sort of a team together. Obviously, they don't really all match in terms of like their styling. Some, like, especially the Accelerate GN-X and the GN-X4, there are pretty similar in most of the styling there, with the only standard release of the three, the Striker GN-X, being probably the most dramatically different looking. But still, I think they're a really cool set. I like each of them on their own, but I think they'll be really cool just kind of all stayed together. So that's it for this review, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and hopefully that was helpful. Otherwise, I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey! Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, if you want to check the kit out for yourself, you can head over to USA Gundam Store. Use that coupon code ZakuAurelius10. Save yourself 10%. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time. Bye-bye.